Have you ever wondered if your thoughts are even your own? Or are they just echoes bouncing off an invisible grid, shaping the reality you think you control? Lena Gilbert's guide warns your mind is not entirely yours. It's a thread in a much larger weave, and every thought you entertain is either a brushstroke of beauty or a stain of fear. But here's the real kicker soon, you won't just think your reality, you'll feel it amplifying in ways you never imagined. Because the grid, it's starting to reflect back everything instantly. No more delays, no more second chances. Just pure cause and effect, hitting harder and faster than ever before. And then comes the moment that changes everything, the singularity of choice. Sounds intense, right? Well, it is. But don't expect some apocalyptic sky-cracking event. This is quieter, deeper, personal. It'll sneak up on you like a whisper in the night, a shift so subtle you'll almost miss it until you don't. One day you'll feel it. That pull, that knowing, that silent question demanding an answer. And you'll have to choose. Stay anchored in the old world, where everything is predictable but suffocating, or leap into the unknown, trusting an invisible force that logic won't validate but your soul will recognize. And here's the wild part this choice won't wait for your comfort. It won't be polite. It won't come with a neatly written FAQ section. It'll rip away illusions, test your willingness to surrender, and challenge you to either wake up or keep sleepwalking through existence. And trust me, the price of staying asleep? Stagnation. Repeating the same patterns. Living lifetimes on repeat while others break free. But let's talk about breaking free because that's where things get juicy. Right now, hidden beneath the surface of human awareness, something extraordinary is happening. A shift, a mutation. A golden brainwave code is activating. And no, it's not coming from a chip in your head or some billionaire's latest tech obsession. It's happening inside you. Between 2025 and 2030, certain brain frequencies, especially the theta and gamma waves, will start taking the lead. What does that mean? It means intuition will skyrocket, creativity will explode, reality itself will start feeling bendable. People will begin accessing memories that aren't from this lifetime. They'll know things before they happen. They'll feel connections that defy space and time. Genius won't be about IQ anymore. It'll be about coherence. When the mind stops fighting itself and starts flowing like a cosmic symphony, that's when the real magic begins. But, and this is a big but, this shift won't happen through force. You can't grind your way into enlightenment. You can't hustle your way into higher consciousness. The future belongs to those who know how to listen, not just to words, but to the silence between them. And that's where the whisper protocol comes in. Spirit guides, those unseen forces nudging you in the right direction, are about to change their methods. No more billboard sized signs, no more neon flashing angel numbers every time you check the clock. They're upgrading their system, and the new language is subtle. No more shouting, no more hand holding, just a soft nudge, a feeling, a knowing, a whisper that only those truly in tune will catch. And here's where most people will mess up. They'll assume the guidance is gone, that the universe has ghosted them, that their spiritual hotline has been disconnected. But in reality, the training wheels are off. If the messages feel quieter, it's not because they stopped. It's because you're expected to hear them without the noise. So the real question is, can you handle the silence? Can you trust a gut feeling without needing 10 signs to confirm it? Can you follow intuition even when it doesn't make logical sense? Because the ones who can will navigate the coming years like artists painting their own reality. The ones who can't, they'll get lost in the static. The awakening is here. The game is changing. And whether you realize it or not, you're already playing. The only question left is, will you wake up before it's too late? Look up. No, seriously, look at the sky. Because while most people are busy doom scrolling and stressing about their next bill, the universe is setting the stage for something huge. Between 2025 and 2030, celestial events will unfold that mainstream science might acknowledge, but they'll only scratch the surface. Eclipses, solar storms, planetary retrogrades, they'll write about them, sure, But what they won't tell you is that these aren't just random astronomical events. They're keys, codes, triggers for an awakening hidden in plain sight. Because here's the truth: the sky isn't just decoration, it's a clock, a map, a memory vault containing blueprints of forgotten civilizations, waiting for the right cosmic combinations to unlock. And those combinations, they're coming. When specific planets align with ancient star clusters, they activate something buried deep in human DNA: a resonance, a calling, a feeling like something is waking up inside you, something ancient and powerful. And when it does, oh, you'll know. Imagine this: you're sitting there, minding your business, and suddenly, out of nowhere, a wave of emotion hits. Maybe it's a flash of inspiration so strong it feels like a download from another world. Maybe it's a memory that isn't yours, or maybe it is, but from a lifetime long forgotten. Maybe you just feel different, like reality itself is shifting around you. That's not your imagination. That's the sky whispering to your soul. But here's the catch: not everyone will notice. For some, these events will pass like any other day. Why? Because they're still tuned into static, too distracted, too plugged into the noise of the world to hear the music of the cosmos. But for those paying attention, for those who feel before they overthink, these alignments will change everything. And then there's them, the ones who are coming, the children of the quantum dawn. That's what Lena Gilbert's guide called them: a new wave of souls arriving on Earth, unlike any generation before. If you thought the past few decades saw some rebellious, free thinking minds shaking up the system, just wait. These kids won't just challenge outdated structures, they'll short circuit them. Traditional education won't work, fear based control systems won't hold. They won't be teachable in the old ways because they're not here to learn from the system, they're here to rewrite it. You'll recognize them by their eyes: ancient, knowing, filled with a wisdom that doesn't belong to their years. They'll understand energy instantly. They'll communicate telepathically without even realizing it. And they'll reject anything that feels unnatural, false, or misaligned with the soul. They won't just sense deception, they'll see through it. They won't just avoid control, they'll override it. But here's the warning: they don't need authority figures, they need guardians, elders who protect their innocence rather than suppress their power. Because the moment you try to mold them, force them into old world expectations, you'll lose them. They aren't here to be conditioned. They're here to awaken what the rest of us forgot. And if you're paying attention, you'll start to see it: the signs, the synchronicities, the cosmic winks from the universe, letting you know that something massive is underway. But not all synchronicities are real, and this is where things get tricky. Because as collective consciousness expands, so does the risk of false synchronicity. Not every angel number, every repeating pattern, or every dream is a message from the divine. Some of them, they're just echoes of collective noise, glitches in the thought grid, projections of fragmented minds desperate for meaning, and the danger: getting lost in the illusion. Real synchronicity expands your peace. Fake synchronicity amplifies your seeking. One affirms your essence, the other feeds your ego. The trick is simple: check the feeling behind the sign. Does it ground you, make you feel clear, empowered? Or does it make you anxious, desperate, stuck in an endless cycle of looking for more? The truth doesn't chase, it just is. So, in this age of over signaling, remember, authentic messages don't come with flashing neon lights. They come in stillness, in whispers, in a knowing that doesn't demand validation. The universe isn't asking you to search harder, it's asking you to listen better. Because the ones who do, they'll be the first to step through the door before it closes. Shh. Do you hear that? No? Exactly. Because the next phase of human evolution isn't about making more noise, it's about mastering the silence. Between 2025 and 2030, something strange will start happening. The people who used to argue, debate, and over explain everything will begin falling silent. Not because they've given up, but because they've leveled up. They'll realize that real power doesn't come from shouting the loudest, it comes from presence, from alignment, from a stillness so deep it bends reality itself. For centuries, humans have misused words, not in what they say, but in why they say it. Words have been used to manipulate, to justify, to seek validation. But in this new era, words will carry weight. When the most awakened beings speak, they won't just be talking, they'll be shifting timelines. One sentence, one look, one breath, and the entire energy of a room will change. Think about it. Haven't you ever met someone whose very presence felt like a force field? Who didn't have to prove themselves because just existing was enough? That's what's coming. A world where silence isn't emptiness, it's a power move. And speaking of power moves, let's talk about something truly mind blowing: the unlocking of Earth's inner library. You see, the planet isn't just a rock floating through space, it's a record keeper, a living, breathing archive of every moment that has ever happened. And guess where that memory is stored? Water, sound, vibration. From 2025 onward, a strange phenomenon will start occurring. Certain bodies of water, hidden springs, deep oceans, ancient wells, will begin transmitting information. People drawn to these places won't just feel peace, they'll receive downloads, messages, visions from past civilizations. Sacred sites will start revealing their secrets, not through books, but through frequency. Ever wondered why ancient priestesses used to gather by lakes and caves, chanting in tones that seemed to vibrate through the soul? Because they weren't reading history, they were listening to it. Every drop of water holds a memory. Every sound wave carries a key. And now humanity is about to remember how to use them. But to truly access this knowledge, something has to change within you. And this brings us to the final, most unexpected revelation: the silence threshold. Picture this: you sitting alone, feeling a deep pull inside, a quiet so profound it's almost deafening. Not the awkward silence of small talk dying, but the kind of silence that creates, that builds, that transforms. This isn't social dysfunction. It's not detachment. It's spiritual ripening. The moment when words become unnecessary because truth can be felt. And when those who have mastered this silence finally do speak, oh, you better believe the world will listen. Because this is the final lesson. The future will not be shaped by louder minds, but by clearer frequencies. The strongest leaders won't be the ones fighting for attention. They'll be the ones whose very energy demands it. And so, the last message from Lena Gilbert's guide is simple but profound. You are the fulcrum. You were never here to wait for change. You are here to be it. Not through force, not through resistance, but through balance. Because the future, it's not something you chase, it's something you anchor. And those who master this stillness will be the ones who reshape reality itself.